Right, I thought we'd get the Randy on the test bench, as I said, and we'll use the external power and antenna connector to connect to the radio, and we'll take some measurements just to see if it does what it's supposed to do. So it has this breakout cable here with a PL259 socket, and in the manual it tells you to unscrew the one on top of the radio, otherwise you could do damage. So we'll do that first. Right, so we've got the antenna plugged into the test set. We want it on high power, and let's see what this is doing on the meter. That's 4 of my watts anyway. Now we're looking at the lower scale, which is 2.5 watts, and on low power it's doing 1 watt. Okay. Scan function, obviously, you know, that's a useful function to have. I use that a lot on some more of my modern sets, and yeah, but it's nice to be able to swap in and out of AM and FM just for my testing purposes, and a lovely radio to have in the shack when I'm just testing, you know, testing CBs and seeing, you know, if I'm getting any output from them. It's just handy. So tiny little bit high, 27.79130, 5 hertz, but that's well in spec, so no worries about getting inside there and fiddling. We've got a 2-year warranty, as I think maybe even a 3-year warranty on this as standard. So let's go and see what it's doing sensitivity wise. Right, we're looking like about 0.56 of a microvolt for 12 decibel cyanide. But what I've found with watching a lot of Richard's videos is that very often, even though the sensitivity might not appear that great on a cyanide meter, sometimes the radio can actually receive right the way down. So let's turn this down, and it's still there at 0.25 of a microvolt, and it's disappearing off of the lowest setting of the squelch at just under 0.2 microvolts. So that's more than reasonable. Let's just have a look in the booklet to see what it states. Yeah, I was just looking at it again. This can't be right. At 20 decibels cyanide, that's 1.5 microvolts, and they're claiming 0.5. So this must be a typo. That's got to be less than that. They often quote 10 or 12, so that would be, as I think Richard, I remember watching Richard's review of this and it wasn't right. So I think that sensitivity should be at 10 microvolts, which if we set it for 10 microvolts on here, sorry, not 10 microvolts, 10 dB, you're looking at 0.5 of a microvolt there. Well, I think it's doing what it should do. I mean, I should think at the price it should do, really. But I have to say, for what it costs, it does feel like a really good, really solidly made, lovely bit of kit. You know, I know it is a lot of money for a CB radio, for sure, there's no doubt about it, but I think, you know, the difference between the Midland Allens and some of the cheaper ones and this, it's worth paying the extra. And certainly the sort of field testing I've seen done with this, it does seem to prove that, and it is supplied, it looks like, with a good antenna. But we'll take it out and have a little play around with it in our usual test spots, and I've got a bit of a fun test to do with some older AM walkie-talkies, which I'm gonna have a go with the AM side of this radio. So the only thing I just want to double check now is the deviation, which we shall do straight away. So yeah, deviation just seemed to be a little bit low. 1, 2. We're looking at the top scale. 1, 2. Want to be over 2 there. So yeah, that could do with coming up. Right, we need to bring that deviation up a little bit. That's too low for me. Super important on a walkie-talkie that's correct. And there's a way that we can do that without opening the radio up, and that is to go into the service menu. Now, lots of things we can change in the service menu, and to do that we need to hold down the A and LB button and the scan button together whilst we turn the radio on. So I'll just do that, and then we'll go into the deviation menu and we'll up the deviation. It's a bit bizarre, this took me a minute to find out how you change it, but basically when you key up, I've just set the deviation there to next to nothing, so that's your value of deviation. Right, after a bit of playing around with the tuner, I've got it as high as I can. The maximum deviation level, now I was playing around with the settings, and if you go to 512 it suddenly drops back down again. So this is 511 as you key up. That's the maximum FM modulation deviation that you can get with this unit. And I was going to mention, when you've got it on the adapter, as you can see there, it is charging, and then if I key up, it is actually pulling current. So it charges, and it takes its power from this external adapter. With some radios it only charges off the external adapter, and when you key up it uses the internal battery. So I thought I would make that point in case people were wondering. But this battery has been on charge and it is fully charged. That's why it's not properly charging now. And there are modes, if you read through the manual, there are modes on power saving. So if you are in the business of having a radio like this on and you are out and about portable and you want it to last the whole day, then that's something you can look at. And the low power setting will certainly save your battery there. But there's no reason why you couldn't have a backup battery such as one of these in your pocket or something similar, and that way you could plug that in to this adapter and input that in your backpack, and you've got plenty of juice on the go there without the sort of heavy weight of a battery. Nothing more than a Mars bar. So okay, I think that's it. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this run of videos from me over the last week. I'm going to endeavour to get out more with the Randy and do a bit more testing. We've got a few goodies arriving for that soon, so keep your eyes peeled on the channel. We'll be back in about a week's time with some more output from the Randy and other things. We'll speak to you soon. Take care.